Welcome to Auntie Sharon's 5-minute Crafts on the Go series. Hi, I'm Auntie Sharon, and welcome to Auntie Sharon's Crafts and More, where we learn how to recycle, reuse, and make something old into something new. We've got a great show for you today. I have my co-host Angel over here in spirit with me. She used to be on my craft shows, every single one that I did, and she passed away in 2015. We're going to learn how you can make your own stress balls. Stress balls, this little guy right here. These are so much fun. I use this thing all the time, and he's got a little face on it. But we're going to be making these today. You can buy stress balls in the store. They are, they're kind of cushiony, and some of them are hard and some of them are soft. But we're going to make our own. And if you have flour and you have balloons, you can make a stress ball. And that's what we're going to do today, because inside here is flour. But how do I keep the flour in? Well, there's a certain way of doing your balloon that will allow you to keep the flour in. So let's get started. We're going to be making this stress ball right here. And we're going to be making an orange one today. So what you're going to do is you're going to get these kind of balloons that have a round body to them. You need 2 balloons of the same color. Stretch them just a little bit, just to kind of help to loosen them up for what we're going to be doing. I have an old water bottle. If you know me, I recycle everything. And water bottles, I've used them I cut them in half, and I've used the bottom part for putting pencils in, and I've used the top part for funnels. Well, today I'm using it with flour. I put a bunch of flour in here because that's what's going to be on the inside of your stress ball. And you need a container like this to be able to put your flour in there so that you can get it into your balloon. And that's the hardest part of putting the flour inside of the balloon, is how do you get it through this hole here? Well, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to cut it down a little bit. And you see I've got a little teeny bit hanging up here, but I have the loop part, the lip, what I call the lip, that's gone. See this little lip, we're going to take that off, and we're going to leave it with just a little bit there. It kind of looks like hair coming out. So all you're going to need are 2 balloons. You're going to need your flour and some paper towels in case it gets kind of messy. So let's get started. First thing, we're going to cut the lip off. Now you don't want to cut down too far because you need to have a little bit there so that you can put it around the mouth of your water bottle. So I am going to go probably about right here, just so I can open it. So let's cut that off. And you know what? Don't throw this away, because you can use these little scraps. In fact, somebody showed me one time that you can do something like this. You can take and put a little face on it right here. You can use these things so many different ways. So there we have a little puppet with a little face on it. Kids would have fun cutting these off, and they can use these. You can put them on all your fingers, and you can have a little puppet stage show. Little bunny foo-foo hopping through the forest, scooping up the field mice and bopping them on the head. That's an old song I remember from when I was a kid. So let's get back to our stress balls. That was fun though. I'm going to put that aside, and we might as well cut the other one off while we're at it. So let's cut it halfway down, and there, again, we put this aside. Now we're going to do some little exercising with the balloon, and we're going to stretch it just a little bit because we've got to get it so that it's a little bit more flexible so that we can open it up. Now, we're going to take our balloon. In order to open this up, we're going to pull it apart like this, and then we have an opening. And and that will open it up for me. And then I've got a nice opening that I'm going to be stretching. I'm stretching the opening there. I'm going to keep my finger in there for now so it can stretch. I'm going to go to my bottle and we're going to take the cap off of the bottle. You can see I've been using it because it's all crunched in there. And we're going to take your balloon and we're going to open up the top and we're going to put it over the lip. And there we have our balloon on our bottle. And make sure you go over the lip so that when you squeeze this flower into there, it's not going to shoot out all over the place. So now it's nice and tight on there. So then all you do is you turn it upside down. And what we're trying to do is to get this flower into here, but we need to put a lot in there to make it this size. So that's why we have the plastic. You can see that we can push air in there. So it's going to push flour in there. But you have to do a couple times. You got to shake it down and keep going to try to get it to get bigger. So I hold it so it stays on, and just keep doing it and shaking it down until you get enough in there. Just keep shaking it. See, I already have some starting in there. It depends upon how much you want to put in here. If you want to put a lot in, it'll be nice and firm and hard. If you want to put just a little bit in, it'll be softer. Or, you know, like this one is, you can mold it. See, isn't that cool? Look at that. I can make it different sizes. And this one, I would say, has not a lot in, but it's a little bit firmer than just a little bit. As I keep pushing it in there, you notice that it's getting bigger, it's getting larger, because we're getting more of the flour in there. And if you notice, I didn't fill this all the way full. I have about this much of air in there. Then that's really good because that air is pushing the flour down inside of here. And as I push up here, the flour goes down and it makes the balloon larger. See that? It's making it larger. Whoa, look at that. So we're getting more in there. Oh yeah, we're getting lots in there, and I'm shaking it to make sure we get it in there. If you feel that this is as much as you want, then you can stop. If you want to push a little bit more in, like I'm just going to put a little bit more in, shake it, just to get that down in there. Maybe hit it a little bit. I want to make it not too big, but I want to make it big enough for the hand of a child or a senior citizen. So I'm going to stop here. So what you're going to do now is you're going to close it off with your hand here, and you're going to tip it back. See, coming off here. Now it might be just a little messy when I put that back up here. You can see it inside there. And I have a little bit of a mess, but that's okay, because that's the fun of this whole thing, and kids would love this. They'd love to do this. Just make sure that if you do it outside or you have a towel so that you can clean things up. So now you've got a nice amount in here. Now, what do I do to make sure that the stuff doesn't fall out? Well, that's why I have the second balloon. So first, this piece right here, this tall piece, is going to fold down. You're going to press it down and it's going to fold down like this. We're not going to cut that piece off. The reason we don't cut this off is because it holds in all of your flour and it makes it a nice seal. But you don't have to actually seal it to make it so that it will stay in there. So then we're going to take this balloon now, and we're going to open this balloon up the same way that we did the other one, and I'm going to stretch it, fold this down, and put this over. It takes a little maneuvering. get it all the way around, and you can push in, as you're doing it, you can push in the one side. One nice thing about balloons is they're very flexible. So as I'm pushing the flower in down here, then I can bring this around, and then it makes it a little bit easier as you go around. There we've got our stress ball, and we'll pull this up so we have a nice little lip on it. And if that's too tall, you can always cut it down a little bit. You don't want to cut the whole thing. I just want to make it a little bit more even. So I'm just going to go a little bit farther down and then open it. And there. Now we have a nice stress ball. I'm going to push it down. You can make this stress ball any size you want. You can make it into a cone. You can make it into a round one. See, the one nice thing is now that the flower is in there and the other balloon is around it, I can mold this thing, I can roll it, and it's not going to come out. That flower is not going to come out. And I can put a face on this one too. You could have a party and everybody could make their own and put their own face on it. You can even have them as place settings, and you can have a person's name on it. You can do lots of things with these. You can also use this for exercise. Exercising for the fingers. I have carpal tunnel, so doing something like this to help exercise my hand. These are great to have around the house. Didn't cost anything other than just 2 balloons and some flour. Let's put a little face on this guy. Just any kind of permanent marker. Let's see, should we make him asleep? This is a girl, it looks like. So there's our stress ball. And it didn't take very long. It was quick, easy, didn't cost anything other than the balloon and the flower. And it was so much fun to do. Your kids are going to love doing these. Any age can do these. They just might need a little bit of help with you from, stretching the balloon over the other balloon. The one nice thing about these stress balls is that they last a long, long, long time. I've had this for years. And the thing is that the flower in there, it doesn't get hard. It stays pliable and soft. It's great. So thank you for coming to Auntie Sharon's Crafts and More, where we learned how to make stress balls. We learned how to recycle, reuse, and make something old into something new. If you would like to be on my show, you can call our viewer response line at 763-533-1710 or email Auntie Sharon's Crafts and More at gmail.com. Let me know your ideas. Let me know what you think about our show. Remember to always recycle, reuse, make something old into something new. Come back. Bye now. Auntie Sharon will have a new show every month, but watch us weekly on Channel 20, Thursdays 7 to 8 p.m. and Fridays 11 to noon.